Well, good morning again. Welcome to Stroke of Genius Podcast Executive Experience. I'm your host, Aaron Alva. In today's show, got a really special guest for you today. You probably have seen him in my C-suite. I find him very inspirational. His name is Jordan Thomas. What an amazing person. And I want you not just to meet the professional Jordan Thomas. I want you to meet Jordan Thomas, the person. And so I'm going to bring him on camera here in just a second. But I want to tell you, he is a man that has really done a lot more than you can imagine, and survived and made and thrived in an environment that's difficult. But and I don't want any of you to make any comment down in the comments below that he looks better than I do, because he's got the suit on, cowboy hat. He is looking sharp. I mean, super sharp. He published 3 books while he's at college. Now, mind you, he's only age 25 right now. He's a young punk. He's just a young whippersnapper compared to me, an old man. But he actually wrote 3 books while he was in college. He sang for his top music influencer and saxophonist Dave Koz. He produced and released his own music. I mean, that's pretty amazing for a kid that's 25 years old. That's pretty amazing. So let me play you about Bro Bingham on camera.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Well, good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Aaron.
Welcome to the Stroke of Genius podcast. Your hat is like stunning and must have.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for wearing it, bro. I appreciate that. I asked you, and then I got me it looks pretty awesome.
Gotta represent.
Yeah, you're representing, and you're a cowboy. You're a cowboy country fan, right? You're a country music fan.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that because there is a country music day, right?
Yes.
And you came with all dressed in your hat and your suit. Man, I gotta look great. Because you're an inspiration, bro. I'll tell you right now. You're an inspiration to me because you and I go see Jeff Hazlett's C-suite together in the meetings. And you inspire me every time I see you.
I appreciate that. And likewise, you and Jeffrey. And happy birthday to him, too. I know today is his birthday. So.
Well, kudos, bro. Let's face it, we're a little different. I'm a little more different. You could sound like Elmer Fudd, but we are the spice of life. We are the people that have endured hardship, endured trouble, trials, and rose above it. Here we are today. So I really appreciate. Now, right off the bat, I gotta ask you, bro. You published 3 books for you in college. You're at age 25. So you didn't graduate that much long ago, I think. But tell me about the 3 books. Start with the first one and go second, third. Tell us about those.
My first book I published in November of 2015. It was a poetry book. It is titled Joys and Pains, Words from the Soul. Published November 8th of 2015. It was just a collection of poems that I've written over the course of high school up until my freshman year in college, ranging of different topics, society, personal things, and faith. And at that time, and even up until now, poetry has been an effective outlet for me to release what I want to release as far as sentiment and emotions and just what I'm currently going through in life is a good outlet for that. And I encourage young people for that too. I encourage my generation to pursue creative endeavors, creative outlets, because society is telling them to run to and fro, whether it's with alcohol or with drugs, as a way to solve their problems, and that's not going to do it. So by doing this, I hope to be a means of inspiration for young people and fellow millennials to find more creative outlets and ways to soldier on through adversity, because none of us are exempt from any form of adversity. And the best we can do is learn how to deal with it accordingly.
Well, yeah, and I think I think outlets they're mandatory. Everybody that they must have an outlet. They must have a way to express who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you use poetry, which does everything cowboy. I'm kind of surprised, but it's great. But poetry is when done right, I'm gonna get your books. And for anybody out there listening, I'll put links to the books from Amazon in the description of this video. But I think it's so critical, especially today's world we live in, so stressful
Mhm.
that everybody needs an outlet.
Yeah,
Don't you agree? I mean, really. And
definitely.
I don't know about you, but I find being in the C-suite with Jeff Hazlett and the amazing people there is one of those forms of outlet. My outlet,
Definitely.
yeah, it's great. Love it.
Hmm.
What do you like? Give me a top pick. What you like about the C-suite? What do you like about it?
What I love the most, aside from it being run by the phenomenal Jeffrey Hazlett, shout out to him, um, just the collection of people that it brings on. It allows people to share their story and gives them a chance to pretty much develop an audience and cultivate an audience for what it is that they have, whether it is something that to write or a podcast that they may have. I love the opportunities that come with it and allowing just the willingness for people to help and be an effective source of help for people who have something they want to say and share. I admire that greatly.
I'm with on that, bro. I think Jeff Hazlett, C-suite, and the members are just amazing. They meet
Hmm.
you and I. People they're a little bit different. Not so much you, but me being different. Um, they welcome us. And
Hmm.
then we feel okay that we actually can make a difference in the
Very
world.
down to earth.
So I'm curious, bro. Now they you mentioned something in the green room where we're talking. And I got a list of questions. I'll get to them if I get to, but I really want to ask you something that kind of intrigued me that I found interesting about you. You have a heart for veterans, and they just started the Veterans Council yesterday.
Hmm.
I think Bob Fassini is heading it up, but the
Yes.
C-suite network is the Veterans Council. But tell me if you would, you also support veterans. Tell me what you're doing on there.
Supporting veterans is something I aspire to get into further in my career of PR. I was able to write a piece um, while I was in college on veterans in the pandemic, just their livelihood, reports of what they are going through as far as affording homes and housing and healthcare. I was able to get that published in the school newspaper, just bringing more light and awareness to that. And I'm glad for that because it's not a very prevalent topic. I think more should be done for the veteran community across the nation, not just today, not just today for Veterans Day, but all year round. And it's easy to give lip service, but our actions speak louder than words, as everyone knows. And we have a long way to go, but I'm thankful for the progress that we have been seeing. And just one day at a time, we can only do so much, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree. How can we as the United States of America's people forget our veterans and put them second when they should be first?
Mhm.
Honestly, you and I would not be sitting there talking freely without them.
Mhm.
They're the ones that give the people the power and give the people the freedom. And that freedom is always under attack, always under attack. And they're there to defend it. So, man, my hands are off with you. I think veterans are awesome.
Definitely. My grandfather was one. He was in the Korean War.
Oh, really? what branch serve? Do you remember? Do you know what branch of service?
I can't remember. I never really got to meet him actually.
Yeah, I had an uncle. His name was Fuzz because he was cut his hair short. But he was in the submarine,
Oh,
and he
okay.
was in the submarine for months, down under the sea, and
Mhm.
he fought in World War II and did the Battle of the Bulge, and pretty amazing guy. Told me some stories that blow your mind. When I was a kid, he passed. Here's a shout out to you, Uncle, my Uncle Buzz. Appreciate that. But something if you want to get involved with the CC network and the Veterans Council, how did they do that, Jordan? How did they get a hold of you guys?
The best resources will be to ask Trisha Ben um, and Bob Pizzini, those who are affiliated with the Veterans Council. I'm still
All
getting
right,
to know everyone, but that would be the most effective resources.
all right. So Bob Bazzini or Trisha Ben, just go on the ccnetwork.com website, look at the Veterans Council. If you're a veteran, I encourage you to join in. But my here also, I wanted to touch a little bit about what it is. You're only age 25, but I'm curious if you were to look back at your life and give your younger self, which is very young compared to me, if you were to give your 18-year-old self advice, what would it be?
Oh man. um, the advice I would give my 18-year-old self, especially starting out in college, it would be for one to take your time and really hone in on what it is that you aspire to do. You don't have to have everything figured out at the moment, but don't allow external influences to get in the way because it's easy to do that. It's easy for us to get sidetracked, and that's what happened with me. It took a while for me to figure out my career choice. I had a lot of options: a creative writing professor, an environmental lawyer. Um, but I would say just to be very intentional about setting your own path based on what you value, what inspires you, what you are striving to represent, and what it is that you want to do in the future. And really be intentional about standing out too. You don't have to fit in with people. Fitting in is overrated. It's a lot easier to just be who you were called to be and be represent who God has called you to be. And inspiration is fine, but when it gets to a point that you are losing yourself and losing your authenticity, then that's where you should step back and really examine and, if necessary, make adjustments.
Yeah, you do that word authenticity. When I first had my brain aneurysm and stroke, bro, I was lying there in bed watching this guy named Jeff Hazlett on YouTube. And he asked on the video, do you want to be the most powerful person you could be? I'm thinking, yeah, of course. I'll take yes.
Hmm.
Learn to be yourself. Learn to be authentic. And, I feel like I am who I am. You are. We are more powerful than we even know, I think. And I think just advice, it's attitude. And part of that and something just as powerful you just touch on in passing was the word intentional. I
Hmm.
think it's so critical for us to be intentional. Very powerful. What does the word intentional mean to you, bro?
Intentional means being grounded in purpose, being firm, on what it is that you aspire to do, and having a purpose bigger than yourself ultimately.
Yeah, you do. I keep hitting a golden nugget. You use the word grounded in purpose. Sorry. But it's so important, younger people getting started in life.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage any young person, don't put yourself into a box. Don't say, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. Stay open to discovering yourself and who you are and what your gifts are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, Jordan. I believe that everybody has a gift.
Yeah.
I do. I believe I'm a spiritual man, so I believe that everybody has a purpose in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And that purpose is to help other people in the world. But yeah, we taught me. I was curious. You have a morning routine. What is your morning routine you go through?
My morning routine consists of firstly prayer, and from there a walk. I walk a lot in my neighborhood just to gain clarity and just to shift my thoughts and just really be again intentional about what it is that I what needs to be refined in my life and what needs adjustment if necessary. And it helps out a lot just clearing my mind and just really putting things in perspective, what I should be focusing on, what I may be overthinking because I'm an overthinker sometimes, and just really seeing things in light of eternal purposes, what um, in the long run, if it's going to matter or not.
I think it's really critical for anybody in business, anybody, to do those morning walks. Just clear your mind
Mm-hmm.
so you can back up and look at your business and what you're doing. Because you specialize PR, you specialize public relations.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest strength that you have that is required in doing public relations, and what does that mean, public relations?
The biggest strength I would say, and we're going into it, I've been able to see it for a little bit, but over time, I think it's going to be displayed a lot more over time in my journey. But it would be resilience, and that is something I have acquired a lot of in the last few years. The more I look back in the last few years of my college journey, and when I say resilience, I mean just being able to bounce back, not having a exterior, not having a being hard on the outside that you can't feel anything, but just being able to incline your ear to what's being said based on what you're pursuing and what it is that you're going for, because people may not always agree, and but you know it's best for you. Just staying true and holding on to what's true and to what's good, even in the midst of lies, even in the midst of falsehood flourishing, because in this day and age, it's very easy um, for lies to be regarded above truth. But in the end, truth will always prevail. Again, being resilient and just having that attitude of endurance. See, motivation is good. I like a lot of things that are seen as motivation, but motivation doesn't last. We need endurance and getting that. And We can't rely on ourselves. No man is an island. We're not meant to be alone. We need community around us. That's why I surround myself with people like you and Jeffrey and Trisha and those like-minded and those who are doing what I aspire to do. Um, we need each other, and that's where resilience, I think, can kick in.
You know, that's you could tell a lot about a person by the people they hang out with. Just say that. You and I hang out with C-suiters. He's a pretty badass, ask me, but that's just my opinion. But believe it or not, Joe, we're getting down to the wire. But how do people, if people want to get a hold of you, what is your social media? How do they get a hold of you?
My social media is the same all across the board. My Twitter and Instagram handle is a pensive poet 97.
I repeat that slowly, babe. What was that?
Again, the handle is pensive poet 97 for Twitter and Instagram.
And then you're on Facebook and Twitter and all that too.
Yeah, my name is easy to remember. It's Jordan Michael Thomas. Pretty easy to grasp, and based on who my mutual friends are, they'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, even I could say Jordan Michael Thomas. It's like a basketball player. I don't know. Jordan, it's been, I know it goes by so quick, but, thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being an inspiration within the Just C-Suite network. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you to those India C-Suite Network. You inspire me every day to keep on going and really pursue what it is.
Make the best of what we got, Jordan, right? Maybe that's what we can do, is make the best of what we got. But I appreciate being here, bro. We're pretty much here. But thank you so much for being here, Jordan.
Thank you, Aaron, for the time and the opportunity.
All right, bro. I'll see you. We'll have you on again. Come back and see us so soon. Bye. Bye, Jordan.
Bye, and take care.
Set me on